Yo, what it do, YouTube? Welcome back to another smooth YouTube video. I want to go over a guide on who to pick with your silver gems on the Xenoverse crossover. So it's been out for a little while, but now we got the Easy A details that's been out for a while, but now the Easy A's are actually in game, and I want to walk people through on the characters that I believe everybody should be investing into. So this is mainly for like the new players and also experienced players who probably have at least one copy of each character, and you probably want to know which character benefits you most to go for the rainbow star on. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let's get into it. So let's start with everybody's favorite option and favorite pick so far, this AGL Super Saiyan Xeno Trunks. So he causes supreme damage to the enemy, and he raises his attack for 7 turns, and then he raises allies attack and defense by 20% for 2 turns. What that means is no matter what slot he attacks in, whether it's the second slot or the third slot or the first slot, if he attacks in the first slot and doesn't, get KO'd, then he gives the entire rotation that he's on attacking defense 20%, and then he gives the next rotation after that attacking defense 20%. So it doesn't really matter, and he can keep doing this every single time he supers, which is pretty cool. And his kit down here, we want to focus because all of these characters pretty much do almost identical with this right here. This is always identical with all 5 of the new Easy A's. So this is what you mainly want to look at. What second category are they supporting? So this Trunks supports mission execution, which for the most part is kind of a villain team. I might need to double check this, but I could have sworn that this is mainly a villain team. You do have, you see, Gohan is only here because of the Gammas. But as you can see, it's all villains. Like you don't have that many super characters on this team. You just have this Gohan. Like this Gohan, this Gamma 2, all Gammas are on here. And oh yeah, Glorio. But look, it's basically an extreme team. And mission execution only works with like hero characters. Hero and crossover. So it's like, I don't know about this pick as far as in like investments, but he's good by himself. Like he's on Vegeta's family and he's a Trunks. So there is a Majin Vegeta that needs a Trunks. So you could go with that. But he needs crossover and or mission execution category right here to get this right here. So you have to run him on mission execution to get his full value or a full crossover team. So that's kind of what you have to look at. Now, I think the next Trunks, he is Defenders of Justice. Now, I don't really remember Defenders of Justice being that good either, but you do have this Gohan who leads it. You do have this new Trunks, and then you do have the the Dokkan Fest banner unit Android 17 that everybody loves. Now this is a category you can get behind and invest in because it's going to only keep growing. So this, not a bad one. So this guy, he has Ki +4, he has attacking defense 250%, he has damage reduction, he performs a crit. If he's 80% or less or facing 2 enemies, guaranteed crit, which by the way, if he faces 2 or more enemies, he performs an AoE. So this is a perfect world tournament character. So this physical Xeno Trunks, definitely get yourself one copy of this guy because he will help you in world tournament for sure. Like if you don't have Ant Piccolo, if you don't have any of the newer characters, if you don't have that STR Cooler movie Piccolo, this is your next best bet because they basically do the exact same thing. They basically crit when there's like more enemies on the field. I think the Piccolo automatically crits no matter what, but this guy crits when you're facing 2 or more enemies. This is also good on some of the super battles, not super battles. Let's go over here real quick. Not there. Events, challenges. What do we call these events? Special battle. Okay. Yeah. Special battle always has 2 characters you have to fight. So it's also good on that. Let me look at AGO Trunks one more time. He has 25% dodge, taking defense, 2 or more enemies, more attack, attacking defense, 45% dodge. When receiving a normal attack, he gets 60% damage reduction. And then when receiving a super attack, he gets an extra 30% dodge. So he has about 75% chance to dodge in his kit. If you give him more dodge, he will be pretty cool. AGL Trunks, personally, it's a little weird. You have to go off of your box, but I think this Trunks has a lot of value. Even if it's just for World Tournament, like this guy is pretty good. I mean, AGL Super Saiyan Trunks is pretty good too. I'm gonna have to use him a little bit to see how good he's gonna be. But guess what? This Trunks right here, he greatly raises his attack and raises 30% defense for 1 turn. AoEs with guaranteed crits if it's more than 2 characters on the field, 2 enemies on the field. And he raises allies attacking defense 20% for 2 turns. So the AGL Super Saiyan Trunks and this physical Xeno Trunks, if you have them together on the same team and you have them on opposite rotations, they're gonna constantly keep buffing your entire team, attacking defense 20% for free. So that's very good. Then of course, he gets damage reduction here, damage reduction here, so that's 30% damage reduction with no guard. Then he gets an extra 20% damage reduction. So basically he does everything the AGL Xeno Super Saiyan Trunks does, but his is in damage reduction. And then 3 or more crossover defensive justice, attacking defense 250, high chance to crit, randomly changes key spheres, and then he foresees super attacks. So he is also a very cool clutch mechanic unit for your team because he has a built-in scouter. So both of the Trunkses look like they could be good investments. This one in particular, for the Defenders of Justice category, you might want to keep your eyes on him. All right, next up we have Demigra, who could potentially be insane. I know there's a lot of riffraff going on with him on Twitter, but if you just look at his kit, I mean, let's just look at it, right? So he is Realm of Gods, full category of Realm of Gods, or oh crap, that's the other thing. You got whoa, I messed up. Hold up. That's the other thing that I left out on the 2 Trunkses. Super, yeah. Or when all allies taking the same turn are super class characters. I cannot believe I left that out on the last part. Yeah. So down here, the same thing for the physical Xeno Trunks. If all allies are taking the same turn are super class characters, then they still get this off, by the way. They still get that off. It's just mission execution. They get this buff right here, and then he gets this. Same thing with physical Xeno Trunks because he gets Defenders of Justice. He supports them, and then he also gets this as well. I forgot to point that out. Now back to Demigra. So Demigra, if he gets crossover Realm of Gods, or if everybody is a hold on, where is his? Yeah, his is up here. So if you have 3 or more crossover Realm of Gods, or everybody's an extreme class character, he gets attacking defense 300%, chance of performing a critical hit, and a high chance of dodging. Okay. Demigra I'm going to run him on Realm of Gods today. I think I want to run, I'm going to try to run all of them on one team. My issue is Kai's right now to get everybody their super attack levels up. But this Demigra in particular, this guy has a bunch of dodging in his kit. So chance to form a critical hit, damage reduction, launch an additional attack that has a great chance to come a super attack. And this super attack effect is greatly raises attack and defense for one turn. That is 50% attack and defense, and he can stun. Keep that in mind. He's doing some crazy shenanigans, right? And then right here, attack and defense 300%. And then he has a 40% chance to dodge on top of 20% damage reduction as the second attacker in a turn, once only, 40% dodge, attack break. And then if he's the third attacker in a turn, he gets 30% chance to dodge on top of his damage reduction. So in theory, turn one, well, his turn one, he will have 80%, actually 110% chance to dodge, which I don't need to tell y'all is just straight up guaranteed. He has a guaranteed chance to dodge, bro. Turn one in the third slot. And his attacks are guaranteed to hit. And they're all bosses that do dodge. So in theory, you can have a slot 3 character that has a guaranteed dodge. His attacks are guaranteed to hit. And 20% damage reduction. Now, after that, you can keep him in the third slot, and he'll have 70% chance to dodge. When HP is 60% or more, attack 266, and then he has a 6% extra chance to dodge. Interesting. He has, unfortunately, let me look at godly power. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, he has godly power. So that's attack 15%, and then he has a 5% chance to crit. So this link by itself, he'll be pretty good. And then we have Fierce Battle. Please tell me some of the, yep, there goes to Vegeta. He definitely has it. Please tell me, yep, this Vegeta has it. Beautiful, beautiful, they have it. Rose has it. Yeah, so there are some extra. See, the Rose. So on Realm of Gods, you can probably run Rose in the second slot and Demigra in the third slot. That'll activate Godly Power, Big Bad Bosses, and Fierce Battle. Revival? Wait, do they have Fear and Faith? They have Fear and Faith. All enemies defense -2% with Key. I don't think anybody really has Revival. Yeah, you're not really running Revival, but next to Rose, you have Godly Power, Big Bad Bosses. Wait, does he have Godly Power? Let me just double check. They do not have Godly Power. Huh. Oh, okay. Zamasu has Godly Power. Got you. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So like 3 of the 4 links will be there for him. And Realm of Gods, I don't need to tell y'all, is a very dominant team right now. So Demigra definitely deserves a couple of investments. You know what I'm saying? He definitely deserves it for sure. Okay, and I have completely almost beaten the Easy A stages that I was supposed to save for a video. So I'm gonna stop what I'm doing right there. And then let's go into Toa. I'm gonna split these two up. Toa and Mira, because Mira supports Toa, which is very funny to me. So let's scroll all the way down to what she does. Scroll down to what he does. So Toa greatly raises defense for one turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy, and she lowers attack, greatly lowers defense, and she guaranteed seals the attacking enemy. This is a lot. A lot. She raises her defense 50%, so you can really get lucky with some additionals, and then she can have some good defense to survive. So she gets, attacking defense 200%. All allies key +3. Now, all allies key +3. And she's on demonic power. I don't have to tell you guys how good of a team demonic power is. And she's on Paper Gal, Sibling Spawn, Crossover, Demonic Power, Battle of Wits, Time Travelers. What is her 200% leaders? Obviously Vegeta and Goma. Trunks, for sure. And then, yep, Battle of Wits. She's on Battle of Wits. Yep, she's on Battle of Wits, yep. So basically, the new Vegeta is her only team for 220. Interesting, okay. Per extreme category ally on the team, she can go up to 400% on attacking defense, and all allies can have attacking defense up to 50%, which is crazy. And this is per extreme class ally. So no matter what team she's on, especially if we get a new demonic power leader that leads pretty much that and something else that hits her, then that'll be extremely vulnerable. And then you have 70% chance to dodge. And if there's an ally in the same turn who is crossover, she gets 15% damage reduction, right? Okay, so obviously Toa is not really, she's the fifth option for picking stuff. Now, Mira stacks, greatly raises attack and raises defense. So he has a 50% raise on his attack, 20% raise on defense. That's so trash. Where is this? Okay, when there's an ally whose name includes Toa attacking in the same turn, that's when he can do his transformation. Dang, I thought he had, oh wait, I think it's full power or final form Mira. I think he's the one that supports Toa, I think. Bro, greatly raise attack, raises defense, causes supreme damage to the enemy, greatly lowers attacking defense, raises extreme class allies attack by 10% for one turn. Here it is. So this guy, attacking defense 80% and a chance of evading enemies attack 20% for the character and allies whose name includes Toa. Okay, never mind. Toa buffs him. My bad. Yeah, Toa buffs him. So if you grab Mira, you gotta have Toa, because Toa just continuously buffs this guy. So if you want to invest in Toa and Mira, you have to get them together. They are a package deal. But the big investments will be AGL Super Saiyan Trunks, and then that physical Xeno Trunks, and then Mira, if you ask me, not Mira, Demigra. So Trunks, Super Saiyan Trunks, and then the physical Trunks, and then Demigra, Mira, Toa, in that order. If you're a new player, then you have to get a copy of each one. And if you're like a brand new player, I would highly recommend just investing heavily into the two Trunkses. If you're like a brand new character, brand new player, my bad. If you're a brand new player, definitely just invest into both Trunkses, but make sure you get a copy of each character. That way, if they ever decide to buff heroes again, which I don't know if they will, but they do have a bunch of characters that they can do that with, then the crossover stuff will be here, because it would be pretty cool if they did this huge crossover celebration just to give us hero easy A's at the end of the year. So keep your eyes out for that.